So the South Korean national football team just hired their new coach. It is going to be Hantanong. Hantanong, if you're wondering who he is currently the U23 coach for the national football team who had just won the gold medal in the Asian Games of 2023. And also, he was a huge part of the 2002 World Cup team as well, and mostly a star of the 90s. Now, why do I disagree with this move? I don't like this move because he's already the coach for the U23 team, and yes, it's going to be on an interim basis, but if I were Korea, I would have just went with Park Hang-seo, who is the coach for not only the 2002 Korea team, well, the assistant coach behind Goose Hiddink, but he was also the coach for Vietnam, who he helped bring that team into success, at least in their area. That's not necessarily making it to the World Cup kind of success, which that didn't even happen, but he brought that team into some kind of hope because the Vietnam national team wasn't any good, and Park Hang-seo did a really good job with that team, and he is beloved there, just as much as he is beloved in Korea. But for some reason, the Korean Football Association just doesn't like this guy, considering how much sometimes they recognize Goose Hiddink. It seems that they don't really recognize Goose Hiddink from the 2002 World Cup either. Like, there's not really any legitimate leaders that would even qualify for the national football team anymore, Korea national football team. And the one that Korea is going for, they're going for all these coaches that already have jobs. Like, Korea needs to hire someone that is going to be fully dedicated to this kind of job, which is the Korean national football team, not just take it as like some kind of side hustle. Like, I'm not really sure how Han Sun-ong would really do with the national football team, but I think it's just a complete waste of time. Like, because in March, Korea has 2 qualifiers, and at this point, why not give Park Hang-seo a chance? Now, granted, I've heard that there's rumors that Park Hang-seo may have not wanted the job either, because from what I've understood, he's not had necessarily a great relationship with the national football team. I mean, here's a quote that he once said about whether he would even coach the football team. He said, in quote, "I just finished coaching in Vietnam, so it won't be right to go back there as coach. In Korea, younger coaches are doing a great job, but if I have an offer from a third country other than Korea and Vietnam, I will think about it depending on the position." So that may indicate that he may not even want the position for Korea, but if I'm the Korean Football Association, if you are serious about winning, you got to sell it to him and give the man an opportunity. But it just seems from that quote that it looks like he just wants nothing to do with Korea. But either way, I think the Korea football national team really should be serious about hiring him, because Jurgen Klinsmann from that Asian Cup, he was an absolute disaster. And I mean, he was just terrible. And I think if Park Hang-seo was the coach, I don't think that fight between Son Heung-min and Lee Gang-in would have even happened. And I want to go on an extra note on that as well. Here's the thing. So yes, Lee Gang-in, what he did was absolutely terrible. Like, in the Korean culture, you're not supposed to do that to your Hyung, which is Son Heung-min, when he was trying to get him on the same page of the team, not go ping pong before the semifinals match against Jordan, which they lost 2-0. Yes, I totally agree. But the thing is, the Korean Football Association, they leaked that story for pretty much no reason. Their reason that I would claim is Korean Football Association was under a lot of criticism for even hiring Jurgen Klinsmann, and of course, nobody really likes them anyway, except maybe special interest groups. So they were obviously looking for another distraction, and they even went as far as trying to cancel a Korean football star. They went that far, and they had the audacity to try to destroy this team just to, quote, save their own reputation. And even media members from around the world that follows football, even they were suspicious about it, and they knew that this was some kind of inside job. And now, going back to the topic, like I said, not a fan of hiring Hwang. I think it's just not worth it. especially when you're just taking time away. And yes, they did say that he is going to go back and they're going to look for a new coach in May, but why not just give Park Hang-seo those 2 games and see what the culture could be like? Because Korea does like him. All the former 2002 Korean national football team mates, players, they like Park Hang-seo. Goose Hitting thinks highly of him. I mean, he hired him for a reason. So why not hire someone that had the roots of Goose Hitting from the 2002 World Cup, especially with the 2026 World Cup that I think is going to be the biggest World Cup to anticipate for Korean soccer since the 2002 World Cup. Because the World Cup is going to be in the United States where you do have a very significant Korean population. So why not get yourselves ready for this World Cup rather than just keep scrambling and looking for coaches? Like Park Hang-seo, he is right there. Give him a shot. Anyways, those are my thoughts on how I feel about the hiring of Hwang Son-ong. If you are a Korean fan that just happens to come across this, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification. I know this is mostly like a baseball and football channel, but since I'm Korean and I love the Korean soccer team, football team, I still got to do content for them. Anyways, thanks for watching.